top 4 quarterbacks out of probably the top 6 in the NFL were competing in that game. But you think about so many storylines. Tom Brady obviously putting his stamp on Tampa and really making this thing worth everything that we talked about in the offseason and seeing that potential that this team had. And then Patrick Mahomes, business as usual. Everybody's talked about the Kansas City Chiefs and what they could and couldn't do and all of the things that they were scared about. And I kept saying they got 15. So now you get the GOAT against the baby GOAT. And the memes have put out there, especially one by my colleague, Nina Kimes, which was the funniest thing I've seen on Twitter in a long time. But the fact that we get this matchup, we think about this matchup in the past when there was a lot at stake in the AFC Championship. Mahomes didn't have an opportunity to get the ball back in that overtime. So we got all of these things working for us, Matt. Like, football has delivered. In this year, in this pandemic, we look at the NFL, we look where we are in the Super Bowl. You get the first team playing a home game in the Super Bowl. You get Patrick Mahomes, who we're debating now if he's the greatest to ever do it at this juncture in his career. We got the GOAT, who's won so many championships that switched teams, which really tells a lot of people this might have been more about Tom Brady than anybody else in New England. And we get a chance to watch it play out during the year of a pandemic and all of the unknown, unforeseen things that would transpire. The fact that they are here, those two guys, says a lot about them as quarterbacks. And the fact that football was able to get to this point says a lot. So I'm just excited.
And that sentiment with Bill Belichick is why we got the Belichick-Bernie Sanders meme yesterday. It's all working together. As for the decision-making, let's go over to Sage.
Yes, some questionable decisions for sure. Marcus, stay right there. Packers down 8, 31-23 with 2:22 to go in the fourth quarter. First and goal on the 8, and Aaron Rodgers looking for Alan Lazard. He doesn't look ready for it. Some communication issues there? I don't know. Second and goal, Rodgers scrambles right, overthrows that pass in the back of the end zone intended for Devontae Adams. Now it's third and goal. Rodgers steps up, looks like he's going to hang on to this, right? Keep the ball. We've seen him do it a million times, but he stops, throws it to Adams, pass incomplete. What do you do now? Matt LaFleur says, bring out the field goal team. Aaron Rodgers reacted after the game to that.
Yeah, just I think the whole sequence there and the 8-yard line, the last 3 plays, just I'm not sure what I could have done first down, but second and third down, maybe moving up in the pocket, be able to get that one on Tay's body, and third down, I don't know. I have to look at the film, but that last series definitely is frustrating.
It was just the circumstances of having 3 shots and coming away with no yards, and knowing that you not only need the touchdown, but you need the 2-point.
So that was the thought process coming in. I mean, yes, we know how dependable Mason Crosby is, but the Packers cut the deficit to 5. That was all she wrote. 31-26 the final. Here's Aaron again.
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
That's a tough pill to swallow when you're responsible for everybody in this organization to make sure that you're on your A game. And I don't feel like I was tonight. And I just pretty disappointed that let a lot of people down.
Ouch. Let's bring Marcus Spears back in because we know hindsight's always 20/20, Marcus. As LaFleur, he's getting eviscerated today for his decision to kick the field goal instead of going for it. Fourth and goal, 2 minutes to go. Is the criticism fair?
It's fair, Sage, because you have Aaron Rodgers, right? And you have, there's this thought process with everybody based on what we've seen him do throughout his career, that type of pressure-packed situation, he usually comes out on the other side. And I get I might be in the minority, but I get what LaFleur is saying. He looked at the previous 3 plays and was like, we didn't gain a yard. I'm going to kick a field goal, rely on my defense. I still have the 2-minute warning. I also still have timeouts left. Hopefully defense can get the ball back. Aaron Rodgers go down, make a game-winning drive. So I get all of the scenarios. But in that situation, when you in the NFC Championship, you were there last year and you lost this game. You have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. You got Devontae Adams as a wide receiver. You got a lot of talent on that offensive side of the ball. I say give them a chance. But I'm not going to be one of those guys to come on TV and eviscerate Matt LaFleur. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers had his mistakes in that. The offense obviously didn't do anything with the first 3 downs. We saw the opportunity for Aaron to run I don't know what that looks like to him on the football field. So I hate when people say, oh, he should have just took off. It don't look like that, everybody. We all
Right.
watching it at home. So it's a lot of that. But I would have went for it because of Aaron Rodgers only.
Exactly. Rodgers, to your point about not, making some mistakes, he had 7 incompletions and goal-to-go situations yesterday. That's the most in any game in his entire 17-year career. So that says something as well when you think of LaFleur. Anyway, speaking of Aaron, his future seems to be in question a little, Matt.
Yeah, he's been left on the sideline, Sage, for a number of crushing playoff losses. 2014 NFC title game in Seattle. Packers squandered in overtime. Next season, the divisional round at Arizona. Rodgers' Hail Mary tied the game to force OT, one of the most incredible finishes we've ever seen. But the Cards then took the kickoff and got a TD from Larry Fitzgerald to secure that victory. And then again on Sunday, Green Bay went for a field goal instead of going for it on 4th down. Tom Brady and the Bucs took the clock, killed it, making Rodgers the first quarterback since 1970 merger to lose 4 straight conference championship starts. So that begs the question, Rodgers, after the game and his future.
A lot of guys' futures that are, uncertain, myself included. That's what's sad about it most. Getting this far, obviously there's going to be an end to it at some point, whether we make it past this one or not. But just the uncertainty is tough, and the finality of it all. I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything.
All right, so let's start with the paperwork of the contract. Rodgers is under contract for 3 more seasons through 2023. And Marcus, we could sit here and speculate about his future all we want. Fact of the matter is we just don't know. The only thing we do know is it's the morning after for Aaron Rodgers. He came up short again. 4th straight time at a conference championship. Why?
He carries some of the blame, Matt, obviously. I mean, when you think about being in this position and trying to get into that conversation with a guy that at least had the opportunity to win multiple Super Bowls. And we saw Green Bay in this position last year. We saw him against San Francisco. And we saw him against San Francisco when Kaepernick was the quarterback and they lose and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. It's unfortunate for Aaron Rodgers. But if he doesn't cross this hurdle, we'll talk about him being the most talented QB, but we won't talk about him being the GOAT. And then when you think about it in parallel, right, think about Drew Brees and what he's been through in the playoffs and how he's lost in the playoffs. And now we're talking about him potentially departing from the NFL. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to get to that point. Now, here's the question. Does he feel like he can get over the hump in Green Bay? Or is he looking for new scenery? I was talking about this before the season started, after they drafted Jordan Love, and it had nothing to do with Jordan Love. I just thought Aaron Rodgers, based on the things that I was watching him say and do and interpret, he would try to get out of Green Bay after this year. Like, that was my thought coming into the season. And obviously, you go through the ebbs and flows, and they have success, obviously, get to the NFC Championship again. But I'm not sure if this is not about Aaron Rodgers necessarily wanting to have an ill will towards Green Bay. He may just want new scenery. He may want a new opportunity, a new refresher to have a chance to go to a Super Bowl. So you may be kind of getting some of that indication through his press conference.
Look, ice fishing's fun, but sometimes you want to go to some water.